everybody. Welcome back to Grid Penalty, the Formula One podcast for everybody. I'm Brent Gill. With me, as always, is my amazing co-host, Geoff motherfucking Tice. Woo. How are you, Geoff? You good?
I'm so good. I'm the best.
We got a great episode. This is the last episode of Season 1 of Grid Penalty. It's in the books. Episode 50 frickin' 2. Episode 52, right here. We got a good one. We're talking about all the liveries that have been released, and then we're going to go into some speculations on Drive to Survive, which is releasing the 24th, and we're very excited about that. Did I get the day right? The 24th?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So stay tuned for that. But first, as always, we got to get plugged, and I'm not talking about my hair. We're getting plugged.
Get forehead plugs.
Yeah.
We are thinning and on our way.
We are perfect hosts for a Formula One podcast.
Yes, absolutely. We are sponsored by Hims.
I want to get sponsored by the Hair Club for Brent, or for men.
Oh.
I want... if Bosley sponsored us, I would use their services 100%.
You're like, I believe...
And I would talk about it every day.
I believe in this product. I'm selling it.
They have already... Dude, Spade talked me into it. Dennis Miller talked me into it. Everyone's like, you got to get plugs. And I'm like, y'all are mean.
Yeah.
But
try it. Do it. Go to Turkey. I think it's like cheap in Turkey.
Dog, we'll go to the Turkish Grand Prix.
Yeah, perfect.
And I'm sure I'm not the only one trying to link that together. And then I get to write off the trip. So
it's perfect.
All right, Geoff, what do you got coming up?
Let's get plugged up. You can find me on all social media at Geoffrey Tice, GeoffreyTice. I have some shows coming up this week in Colorado if you're around. I'm in Fort Collins on Tuesday at the Comedy Fort, and Friday I'll be in Longmont. I don't know where. Just find it. Just Google it. And then...
That's the tip. That's the best shows. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know if it's even happening. We'll see.
I wouldn't recommend you come, but it'd be cool if you did, but I don't really care.
I'll be there with the great John Novosad, so
he is great.
We'll figure it out. But the big show to promote, I've been harping about it a lot in the last few weeks. March 9th, downtown, Comedy Works in Denver. I will be making my headline debut there. We'll also be doing a book launch party of my children's book, The 11 Evelyns. Oh yeah, we have video now. Here it is. Boom. The 11 Evelyns. Holding it up.
Cut it up, Jan. Let him hear it.
There we go. It's fully illustrated. It's a book that
There's 11 pages.
It's 11.
No.
I mean, yeah. It's so yeah, come out to that. We'll be having a good time. If hit me up if you need a promo code, but either way, just March 9th, come to that show. Yeah, and let's say you are in your house drawing a picture and making a full children's book, and you're like, man, this is boring, and it's late at night, and I am not having fun, and I'm tired. You're like, I could use a laugh. What you're going to want to do is sleep it off until the morning. Then you're going to sleep. Maybe it's like a Monday. You're going to want to sleep the whole week. You're going to sleep all week long. Don't even acknowledge any of your family, any of your life. Don't go to your job. You sleep all the way until Sunday afternoon. Then you're going to wake up, get a shower. You're going to say hi to your family. You're going to feed your dog for the first time. You're going to call the cops and say everything's fine. And then you're going to get in your car and you're going to drive to 29th and Valmont. You're going to not stop at Vacuums R Us. You're going to not go to the Coyote Cleaners. Your car hasn't gone anywhere this week. And
not going to the Tebow side either. We're not going to Cosmos. We're not going to the fetish place either. We're not going to any of the... There's a lingerie place there. I assume it's fetish.
I was thinking it was just the Vacuums R Us. People are just super into vacuums.
Well, it's a different type of fetish, but yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So swing through there to the Rayback Collective at 7 p.m. The Boulder Comedy Show, the greatest show in Colorado, the longest running show in probably Colorado, I think.
Beep, 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 beep.
So yeah, come and see Brent, see me, probably not, but see
you're never there. But...
BK Sherrod and Georgia Comstock and Nick Holmby, the great Nick Holmby. But yeah, that's the greatest show on earth. Other than that, Brent, where can the good people find you?
Well, I'm so glad you asked me. First of all, you can find me anytime, 24/7. You can find me live from Philadelphia. It's my comedy special. It's the first link in my bio. I've discovered this. If you search Brent Gill Comedy, I'm like, that special is like the top 2 links up there. So please check out that. I shot it in Philadelphia. Obviously, if you didn't get that, then I don't know how to help you. You can also find me Friday. Friday's a big day for everybody. A lot of shows happening on Friday. Everybody in this production has a show on Friday. So Friday the 24th, February the 24th, Chiba Hut in Riverside, California. We are gearing up for a Chiba Hut tour that I'm doing from late April through September. And so this is our first stop. We're kind of ironing out some kinks on the SOP and the procedures and stuff. So the comedy, no kinks to be ironed out. The workflow, a couple kinks. But it's a very small shop. There's only about 31 tickets available.
Nice.
So those tickets are going to be live on the Chiba Hut website. I will have my assistant, in theory, put up the link on my website as well. And it'll be on my Instagram. But February 24th, Riverside, California, Chiba Hut. Thursday, March 2nd, I'll be at the Rec Room in Huntington Beach doing a show called Nice Bits, which is a very fun show where me, Kenny Weber, and a professional porn star judge comedians telling jokes. It's very fun. I will probably do a set as well, just because I'm down there. So come check that out.
It's a great room.
And then Friday, March 17th, High Note Comedy in Denver, Colorado. We're bringing in Jordan Rock. So please come to that. Come say hello to me. And if you ever come to one of my shows, I know that I always look like I'm busy because I kind of am always in boss mode. Like I had someone come up to me and be like, I wanted to come say hi, but it looked like you were in boss mode and I didn't want to come say hi. And I was like, always come say hi.
Yeah.
You don't need to commandeer my time, but just come. Hey, I love what you do. I listen to the podcast. I'm going to high five you. We're going to talk about F1, and then I'm going to go back to being in boss mode. But please don't ever hesitate to come say hello if you come to one of my shows. Also, make sure to follow all of us. You can follow Geoff at Jeffrey Tice, GeoffReyTice. Me at I am Brent Gill. Our producer, Kat Orlean.
Yes.
Give her a follow. She puts out some amazing videos on Instagram at KO Recording. We love her. And she's got a fantastic show coming up again, Friday the 24th in Monrovia, California. Her band, the Moonshine Daredevils, is playing at the Poorhouse in Monrovia, California at 9 p.m. And give our video editor, Jan, a follow at Points in a Williams. Hopeful thinking. And I love it with the name.
It's a new year. It's a new season.
That's right. That's right.
Williams to the midfield.
Check us out on YouTube and Instagram at Grid Penalty F1. Very thrilled with the content that we are putting out there. Jan's been making some great edits out there, so thank you for that. And I believe that's it for our announcements.
That's it.
I think that's it. So thanks everybody for listening. Our last episode of the season 2, episode 1 next week, which will be great. But we've had it's been kind of a packed week, at least for me. How's your week been?
My week has been 100% heads down at my desk working on some client projects that I can't exactly talk about legally. Not that they're illegal, but they're just, as all important work, they are completely covered and wrapped and presented in NDAs. So I can't say anything about that, but hopefully soon I can put that work out there. Super proud of it, but I've just been in front of my computer just nonstop.
Just hearing banging in the in the kitchen.
Yeah. Just
all right. So here's the thing. I was thinking about doing a design like this. Bang, bang, bang.
Just a drywall sign. I'm like, all right. Luckily, the client is very cool, and that's all fair game. But been doing that, and then I got to have a nice little break. This week, Thursday night and Friday night, I got to open for the great Jackie Cation. If you don't know Jackie Cation, she's the best. I
know that a few of our fans know him.
Yeah, I would hope so. We've been on her
because we did their show,
her podcast, The Dork Forest. So yeah, she's amazing. We went out to dinner on Friday night, and then the shows were just crazy. Like, if you've never been to, I'm sure majority of the listeners have not been to the South Club in Colorado, in Greenwood Village, Colorado. But
Comedy Works South.
Yeah, that club it's large. It has a big mezzanine, and when that show is sold out, that room is sold out. It's incredible, and so that was definitely the vibe. Like, the balcony was full, just a packed show. I got to do the 20-minute set, and it's like the perfect set, like, because
that's the perfect spot.
Yeah, like a 20-minute feature spot is a cheat code. It's a joke how easy it becomes because you've had your host, you've had a guest set, they're already pretty drunk or on their way. They're in the
Yep.
they're in the comedy mode. They know what the cadence is. They know the feeling of the jokes, and they're in it. Hopefully, if the show's going well, which they were. And then you get up there, and it was just Crush City. So it was so fun. And then, that was it. So like,
and Jackie's such a fucking hilarious comedian too.
it's crazy.
Like, it's nice when you're in a green room with someone you enjoy.
Yeah.
And they're super funny.
Yes.
You know,
it helps
like she's
the whole night. It just helps the whole night because we've all had like
Yeah.
we were just talking about like bad green room hangs. Like either the headliner's a dick and you're just like, man, this sucks.
I'm gonna go wait outside.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like
go sit in the
honestly, I
audience
will
and
go
watch
sit
the show.
in the booth or just take a lap and whatever. Go get a drink at the bar across the street. Where you just like, I can't even watch them on stage now because I don't care. Or like sometimes when you're on the road, you get like weird MCs or openers that are like locals. And they're just, you know, it's just sometimes you get weird energy and you never know. And the energy was great. Obviously, Jackie rules. And I'm friends with everyone here locally, so it's easy to handle that. But yeah, man, it was good. Nothing crazy. And so I'm looking forward to shows coming up this week. Our deadline for work stuff is coming up, so I'm going to be a little less stressed. And also testing is this week. So, like, that's my whole... Like the season is here. It's crazy that the season is here. I'm freaking out. I'm already, since the baby's here, I'm in like get up at early mode, so I'm gonna be able to catch all those early races anyway. But man, just pumped on. I'm just so excited for the season. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah.
Why was your week so hectic? You bought four more cars. You bought 3 more cars.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, and we will talk about the car because I do have some fun updates on my new build out. But I had to go to Syracuse for a funeral, so that sucks. So I had to fly there on Wednesday at like the ass cracking of dawn, and then fly back on Friday to try to get to High Note. And what sucks is that when I land at 6:10 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let me get an Uber or a Lyft. So I call, so Ubers are like $60-something. I go to Lyft, and Lyft was $37. Like, dope, book it, right?
Yeah.
And then it locks me in with a ride, gives me the license plate, the name, the car, everything's ready to, you know where this is going. Yeah, everything's ready to go.
Yeah.
And then I get out there, I'm waiting, and then all of a sudden they drop off their passenger, and now I got to get rebooked because they're like $37, go fuck yourself.
Oh, no.
Okay? So they cancel my ride, they rebook me, and then that takes about 10 minutes to get rebooked. And then they finally find someone, and then they go, actually, we don't have any cars right now, or there's no drivers, as I'm watching people get into their cars, okay? So then I go over so I have to rebook now. So I call another Lyft, and now it's $60-something.
Yeah,
it's like $65.
Of course, yeah.
So then I go over to Lyft because I always play them against each other like Pizza Hut, Domino's.
Yeah.
And so I go to Uber now, and it's $54. I'm like, fine, I got to get to the show, whatever.
Sure.
So I call and it just is like, we're finding you a driver. And all the while it's wasting my time.
This is stressing me out.
My show's at 8.
It's stressing me out
right?
so hard.
So then Uber comes back with like, sorry, we don't have any Uber X drivers in your area. Again, as I'm watching everybody walk from the airport and get into their fucking cars, okay? So then, boots me out, I have to reorder, and now it's $78, okay? So then I go to Lyft, and Lyft is now $80-something. Then I go back to Uber, $115, Jeff.
This is
$115.
It's like an auctioneer. They're like just the little signs going up. I'll take 100. I'll take 500. I'll take. Whoa, can we get a? And you're like, we're just selling your rage, just over and over.
and now I'm like losing it, and you know me when I lose it, I'm not quiet about it. And I'm like, these motherfucking bullshit apps, these fucking crap company. I go to like the app store to give them a 1-star review because like that's gonna fucking do anything.
Yeah. Of the 300 million reviews.
Reviews. Yeah. And then they're like, because they have us by the balls.
And,
there's like what do you do? Call a taxi? I don't even know how to hail a taxi anymore.
Yeah.
So I have to take the train into the city.
Yep.
Okay.
$9.
They've wasted 30 minutes of my time
$9
now. So
though. Yeah.
Right? Cheap money. But it's about 45 minutes to get there.
Damn.
Then I gotta call an Uber or a Lyft again, $8 to get to the fucking to get to the Skylark. Get there at 7:55 for an 8 o'clock show.
Ooh, and I know that's not. Yeah, for you, it's not. That's not.
I hate that.
That's not
Like when I'm running the show,
Yeah.
that's not how
That's
Brent
not okay.
likes to operate.
Yeah, that's not okay.
So,
Ooh.
very very stressful there, and my back's all fucked up. So
Yeah.
it's just like there's just so many things.
Was
that are
the
not.
show good though?
The funeral? Yeah, it was.
yeah. Did he kill? All right. Jokes.
I murdered.
Jokes. Yeah.
No, it was fun. It was fun. It was one of those like. It was a very fun show, but when you're kind of frazzled like that, you're just kind of going with the flow and everything.
Yep.
So
terrible energy.
it was definitely a little bit. It maybe could have been. I mean, I could have been a little less tired, a little less jet lagged, but
Yeah.
I still had a really fun time with it.
Nice.
So that was cool. And then I went to a couple things, and I'll try to make this quick because I got a big list.
Yeah.
So I went to RZA's after party.
Amazing.
From the Wu-Tang Clan.
From the
I
funeral?
Went
You went to the funeral,
Yep,
the funeral after
yep,
party
yep.
put on by the RZA?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude, I know some cool people. No, I went to RZA's after party last night, and that was dope. He was DJing like old school soul hits and like funk. It was
so cool.
It was so cool. And he's just fucking walking around the after party, drinking with everybody. And he did a thing with the Colorado Symphony Orchestra.
Nice.
And then the second half of it was with like ballerinas.
Oh, cool.
And he composed a full score for a ballet,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty cool. Or maybe it was a symphony, something like that.
Really
but
cool.
so the dancers were there.
Nice.
And so it was this hilarious juxtaposition of like RZA's people
Yeah.
and Colorado ballet
Dance
dancers.
company. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I was like, who are all these hot white bitches?
Yeah.
And like, this is a different mix than I'm used to seeing at like a RZA as a Wu-Tang after party.
Yeah.
It was
You're like, this
very,
is not
it was
what I
very
thought.
fun.
Oh, that's really fun.
Yeah, Nathaniel
Nice.
Rateliff popped in as well. We were,
Sweet.
hanging out with him because he's doing the Symphony Orchestra March 3rd and 4th.
Nice. Oh,
so
that's cool.
I'm coming back to see that. So that was fun.
I love that.
And then I wake up. Oh, and then so I come home at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I want to watch racing. So I turn on IndyCar.
Yep.
And I was watching Laguna Seca, which I believe was the last race of the season last year for them. And Willpower won, which is hilarious.
Hilarious name. Shout out Will.
Won the NTT Formula One IndyCar
Series. Yeah.
The other fucking thing that's open wheel racing. But what was cool about it is Laguna Seca is one of the tracks that I drive most in my sim racer.
Oh, nice.
So it was really fun to like watch them go through the corkscrew, go through all the turn. I'm like, I know this turn. I know what. And,
I like to imagine you at like 3 a.m. and you're like, watch the camber. Watch the camber.
oh,
like
dog! I'm sitting there with my arms together, like looking at like, okay, what's their throttle doing?
Yeah.
What's their brake doing? When are they hitting the? Where's the apex of this turn?
Oh, that's so.
It was
fun.
very cool to see that, and I'm like I need to stop spending so much time at one track. I kind of want to go do a bunch of tracks, which is what I'm going to do for the season. Go to Bahrain and Spa, and, all this stuff.
Yeah, you should race along every week. Like, do the race.
That's the goal.
Perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
And we can
very
get
excited
your
about
sim
that.
updates prior to the race to be like, oh, I did things a little different than Yuki did. Or
yeah. So I'm pumped about that. And then of course, I should say this as well before we get into the car.
Yes.
I'm walking through TSA. I'm flying weed back with me,
Great.
which is
Classic.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I don't want to get rid of this, and I got to go straight to the show, and I need some weed. So I'm bringing weed. I'm smuggling weed from New York. My weed that I smuggled to New York.
I was gonna say unneeded like trip
No!
to and from.
I have so much fucking weed here.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But so I fly back, and they, of course, I get random screened, of course,
Great.
and I'm talking to the TSA guy, and he finds out I'm a comic, and literally just now, before we started recording, messaged me.
Oh no, it went that well that he has.
Yeah,
your-
I'm dead serious. I swear to God. I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is Donald something?
Donald Weed
And he goes,
TSA
hey, you
guy.
might, yeah, right. like you probably don't remember me, but we met briefly in Syracuse and really loved your special.
Dude.
I looked it up, and I swear to God, dude,
He's like,
he like quoted jokes in there and everything.
I smoked the weed I confiscated from you, and really enjoyed your special. Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So if that's not testament, if that enough for you to go watch my special, please, Live from Philadelphia.
Yeah. It's for the people.
All right, onto the car.
Yes, I want to hear about the car. I want to hear about how not street legal this car is becoming. Yeah.
So they gave me an update. They found out that my motor is actually a better motor than the one they thought they had.
Nice. Details.
So it's got, and I'll keep this because we've always, on this podcast, we've tried to always be not super in the weeds with like numbers and stuff like that. So basically, it's a high output version of the motor we thought we had.
Got it.
It's got different internals that are much stronger, so it can handle much more power.
Got it.
And I don't have to open up the motor and change.
It's Mercedes. It's Mercedes engine that they run versus the Mercedes engine that they sell to McLaren.
that Williams gets. Right.
Yeah.
So, but I have the LQ9, and they just bought, and it's got 44,000 miles on it. I mean, like, this motor is cherry. All I can think about is how I do not want to wreck this car.
Yeah.
Because I could sell it for way more than I'm buying it for, which I don't want to because I want this car so bad.
Yeah.
But anytime I love something, the universe takes it away from me.
Yeah.
And so I'm so scared. I don't know what to do right now. But
have you thought about
that's for another time.
Have you thought about driving it safely? Have you
What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
What is that? Can you elaborate on this?
Here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to get a Ford Fusion, and then you just can't drive recklessly. It doesn't let you.
Oh man! So I asked them today because I saw on their Instagram, Bash Brothers Speed Shop. If you want to give them a follow, if you like car builds, I saw that they had camshafts, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! What do we got?" And they go, "Oh, we got you the Texas Speed Shop." Stage 4 camshaft. So I was like, okay, cool.
Sounds like
so
a
I look
gun.
it up. Yeah, right. It's the F-35, which it's like, yes, I have a fighter jet in my BMW. Yes,
that's it, exactly right. Yeah, that's Top Gun. You an F-35.
Yeah, dude, I'm mavericking all over the place. I'm mavericking right now. But so I look it up and I go to their website. Very first thing it says, under the name of it, very first thing it says.
This is not for
competition use only, not legal for road use. I'm like, motherfucker,
great.
Damn it.
I love that in the first 10 minutes of the episode, you've admitted to at least 2 crimes. Smuggling and driving illegally.
Oh man,
it's my favorite. It's my favorite. By the
end, this is gonna be the best.
Yeah, by the end, it's just like you're like, actually, this car, I built an open wheel race car, and so anyway, if you see me on the 210, don't call the cops.
Dog, that's so funny. So I'm looking at this camshaft, and like they told me, like, we're gonna get you a huge, because apparently that's where you get your power from, is for a naturally aspirated car.
Got it.
I'm not doing a turbo. I'm not doing supercharging because I don't. It's already gonna be too much power.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, dude, this thing's gonna shake your car when you're at a stop light. I'm like, I don't know if I want that. It's damn near a 20-year-old BMW, and just a heads up, their plastics suck.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a good. You're gonna jar all the fucking bolts loose in my car.
That's such a car guy thing to say. You're like, hey man, this car is awesome. Your life's gonna be uncomfortable. And you're like, all right, okay, I guess.
I was like, guys, I live in LA. I have to sit in traffic in this thing. You know how annoying it's going to be for 2 hours of just, okay,
trying to get to the Ontario Improv. You're just bouncing the whole way. You're like, God damn.
Just so I can get home in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like that. This is not, So I look at this dyno sheet that they have on their thing here, and basically what they're saying is, this cam is going to be able to put my motor up to 576 horsepower.
All right.
506 foot-pounds of torque. And I will not be able to find a wide enough tire
to
to
handle
hold
it?
that shit down.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but I will say this, and not, again, we're not going to get too far into this, but you have to have a breaking point, which is what they told me. They're like, you can either redo your entire rear end, like your rear axles, your differential, your drive shaft, etc. You can redo all of that.
Yeah.
Because if you have these huge tires that can take the traction, then the stress has to go somewhere else.
Yep.
Right? So if you're just romping on it, then the breaking point of being your tires, where you kind of just lose traction and can spin out, like burnouts and shit, is a lot cheaper than having to go through and like redo your whole rear end.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's fair. And I mean, I have 10-inch tires on the back.
Yeah.
So they're not small by any means. I'm very excited about that. So that's the upgrade or the update on where the E46 race car BMW
I love
is
that so
right
much.
now, so.
Is it going to be ready for testing this week? Are you going to take it to Bahrain and race it around?
I'm going to ship it out to Bahrain
Yeah.
and spend 3 times what I spent to build it on the shipping alone.
We have an 11th team. It's Williams at the bottom, and then we have Brent in his Daytona purple car.
Grid Penalty LLC. The car, yeah. It's Daytona Violet, Jeff.
The racing team
Thank
for
you.
everyone. Yeah, not purple. Sorry, it's elevated. It's elevated purple. Yeah.
But I'm very excited about it. I have a feeling that, I mean, granted, it's always going to take longer, but I think the motor will be in there within like a couple days,
Nice.
to be honest.
Sweet.
But again, then there's like electrics and shit like that, and I want a working AC.
You mentioned this the other day, and that stuck out to me immediately. Obviously, it makes sense, but again, I'm not like a performance car guy outside of open wheel.
Your Fusion,
yeah, outside of 2011 Ford Fusion, sponsor of the podcast. And you were like, yeah, most cars like this don't have AC, and obviously that makes sense. But I was like,
it's weight and stuff like that too,
and
it takes it.
So much logistics and internal shit. Obviously, anytime the AC goes out, it's always just $4,000 to get it fixed. So I was like, that makes sense. You wouldn't put that in a very high performant car. It's not like, it's so funny to think like, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, like NASCAR, they're not like cranking up the AC like, or their F1
It's
cars.
Fucking hot, dude.
Yeah, I would love like an F1 car, like next to the halo, there's little just vents, like little plastic vents that they have the little roll thing on them.
It's the circular ones that suck that you can never get to the right angle that you see in like all GMCs and shit.
Little like weird chrome details on them, and it's just 2,000 just mile-an-hour winds hitting their visor. They're ripping off their tear guards, but he's also fiddling with the vent. It's like just
it's blowing too much. It's drying my sinuses out.
Yeah. Can I get this circulating the air through the car? It's not. I don't like this outside air. So it obviously made sense, man. But I was like, okay, got it. But
also AC pulls a ton of horsepower.
Oh,
like it pulls a lot of power as well.
Yeah.
And apparently, like one of the tricky things is you have to, when you set up like a car like this, you have to tell the motor when the AC is turned on that you need to increase idle revs by a couple hundred to help with that power.
Got it.
And then the fact that my car is struggling to breathe because of this big ass fucking camshaft. Like at a stoplight, it's truly gonna be like
gargling, just a death rattle.
Just trying to fucking get oxygen in it because this cam's so big. So it's gonna be wild. So
it's exciting.
But speaking of wild, dog.
Yes.
February 23rd through 25th is testing, only to be followed by Bahrain, the first race in March 5th. Let's fucking go.
We are here. I can't believe we are here. We didn't do any of the things in the off season we wanted to do because the off season is 3 months long. It's so quick. It snuck up on us so fast. And they're not in Barcelona testing, which I think is exciting. Bahrain will be just like every other testing weekend. It'll just be I'm so excited for them to show up with their cars that look nothing like the launches. And everyone's got weird parts. And honestly, after the launches, everyone's going to be showing up with their kind of Red Bull-esque side pods, except for Mercedes. So I'm just so excited to see what it's that buzz. It's the preseason. It's getting everything set up. It's all the the weird, politicking and trying to figure out where you're going to be at. And, like last year in testing, McLaren looked so good and they didn't have porpoising, and then other teams did. And then, upgrades happen. Anyway, it's just that buzz that's happening, and I'm so excited for it. I can't wait for testing. It's going to be good.
I'm pumped. So Geoff, do you want to start with liveries? Let's start there, right? Because everything's out right now. This past week we had a few, all the remaining launches. Some super sexy, some super double bubbly.
Yep.
Dude, I'm telling you, Alpine looks like the fucking double bubble that you get out of the bucket for like when you played baseball in Little League. You know,
the Alpine livery. So first of all, they launched. I'm so excited. I'm going to be so scatterbrained with all of this because this is
his thing.
This is my it's the design phase of the aerodynamics are great. The engineering, awesome. The little parts and the bits and whatever. I love all of that stuff too. But the design of the logo placement, the colors, the combinations, the connections, all that stuff is what I truly geek out about. I have a group chat with 2 other designer friends who are big F1 guys as well. And it's just, as soon as a new livery launches, it's like, well, this company's logo sucks. They should change their logo so it helps the livery and the color combos. And it's just like a nonstop critique of design. And I love it. It's so fun. And yeah, Alpine came out they launched with 2, which they did last year. Last year they did an all pink, the Pink Panther, full bubble gum. And they're going to do that for this year they're doing the all pink for just the first 3 races. Last year, I think it was just the first race, and then now they're on to their blue and pink and black.
Gotcha. It looks to me like they're really, because they're French, so they're like, we have a boys and a girls.
Yeah, separation of church and state. They're keeping them fun. It was good. I think the pink, obviously the pink comes from BWT branding, which has a huge partnership with Otmar, the principal. So he brought them over for when he was at Aston. And so now they have to deal with the pink. I think a lot of people like the pink because it is different. But an overall thing that I've noticed in all these liveries that a lot of people are calling out is the weight issue of the paint. So a lot of people need to figure out. Yeah, so the symptom of that, or the consequence of that, is tons of black in all of these liveries because they can just leave it carbon and they don't have to worry about paint. And they can manage their weight because the paint weighs a lot, and they can figure out they can tolerate it up or down, making sure that their weight is correct. And that's why famously, again, another amazing livery that came out, which Mercedes went back to the black, which I'm so excited. It looks so mean.
Back in black.
Yeah. Someone last year made or 2 years ago when they had the black, they made the Imperial March music of the Star Wars. It's exactly that. It's the Death Star. Darth Vader just leans into that. It looks so mean. It looks so good. It's probably my favorite one just because of how simple and just fast and aggressive it looks. But the original Silver Arrow, that's why they were called the Silver Arrows. Originally, Mercedes made the choice to not have paint, and that's why it was that aluminum, because the body of those cars were aluminum. And so they were Silver Arrows because it was down to the bare car with graphics on top of it. So this is a nice callback to what they used to do and what their heritage comes from when it comes to the graphics. That wasn't a aesthetic choice, really. It was mostly a performance choice, which again, it is the most Mercedes thing. It's the most Formula One thing. It's like they try to make them look nice, but overall, these cars are performance based. It's trying to get the weight down. And that's why
you're saying that Formula One cars are performance based?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when did this happen?
Yeah, they're not marketing towards all the designers like me as much as I would hope they are. Which it also makes me laugh, thinking about the graphic designers, because they just get stepped on. I'm sure they're just like, oh, but what if we did this? Everyone's like, no, because you have to. The engineers have final say on everything. So it's like, get the sponsor logos in there, and then work around that. And then also, if you can get a bunch of black so we can go down to the carbon, do that as well. So every car has done that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they painted them though. I truly thought they were using wraps. I thought they were using, because they change it so much.
Well, they are definitely, like, I think the core elements that, like, the pods are like coming on and off are paint. And like the pieces that are carbon, so a lot of the, like, the side pods will be painted, the tops and like the intakes, they're all painted. But to your point, yes, all the logos, the numbers, those details that change from week to week, those
are wraps
for sure.
like
those are just vinyl. Yeah, like they like the, even the numbers are vinyl. Because that all is a rotating cast of what country you're in, what sponsorship is paying more money. Like, you know, they have different marquee sponsors per race, whatever. So it is a mix of wrap, vinyl, and paint. But to that end, if you can just chop down on the area that needs to be painted or wrapped or whatever, that's just weight gained or weight saved. So a lot of that going on in the liveries. And I love it. I love this, you know, moving pieces around and trying to make it all work with good logos, bad logos, good colors, bad colors. It's great.
I noticed this. I mean, because I'm currently still looking at this W14, the Mercedes, and it is, first of all, by far the sexiest looking car on the grid.
Yeah.
I without question, I think.
Yep.
That like emerald green, the Patronus green that they have on black, it looks so good.
I'm interested too. It's fun to see, like, they have the Patronus, like that teal green, and then they did a new thing this year with that. So the picture I think you're looking at is George's car with the 63 on it.
Yeah.
George chose a neon green that is different than a neon yellow that Lewis will be running.
Lewis has.
So that's a kind of fun little differentiating factor. You'll be able to tell who's who, obviously, because of the numbers, but you'll also be able to tell because I like that they let them personalize a little bit. They said, like, you can choose your accent color to go with it. And it just adds to the, I don't know, everything on that black works. Like, I don't know if the green and the teal work perfectly together, but it doesn't matter. Like, it looks great. Again, this is me, like, I don't know if the color saturation levels. Yeah. But overall, awesome. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy though, looking at this one, because I'm you know, again, I was just looking at the Alpine one, and I mean, Mercedes has like 6 sponsors.
Yeah.
You know, they got Solera, AMD, TeamViewer, IN, EOS, IWC, and Patronus.
Yeah. CrowdStrike.
And then and CrowdStrike.
Yep.
I guess they got a few up front, but I mean, you know, obviously Patronus is the biggest sponsor there, but it's a very clean looking car. It's not cluttered with a bunch of shit, and it's probably because they needed to save weight. They're like, we don't need your money.
Yeah.
We just spent $400 million in 2020, and now we have to spend 135.
Yeah.
We don't need your money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's the power. I think it's also the power of having like a winning car. You see it in the top of the grid. Like, Ferrari has Ray-Ban and Shell, but they have Shell. Shell is, like, clearly
the big one.
Pumping. Same with Patronus. They're pumping so much money. And same with Red Bull. They have Oracle. So I think they can just use that money to be like, okay, now we can just supplement. When on the other end, you have McLaren that's like, we have Google Chrome assaulting our car. And then,
it's a Google Chrome car. Like, I feel like if you open up Chrome, it should go ring. Like, that's what I feel like now. I mean, it's insane. Yeah, even their wheels have Google Chrome on it.
The whole car looks like a step and repeat. Like, it's just logos and logos and logos. And if you took off 50%, they would still have a lot, and that car would look great. I do love the color scheme. I love the typography and the number set of McLaren. They're doing a lot of great things, but all that to say, the logos are just killing me. Like, the Chrome logo is so big and weird, and then, like, the wheel plate is a great touch. I love that. Like, that's a nice idea, but it just is so much going on, and it looks like Tokyo at night. Like, it is kind of like what they did for the night race, where it's just everything. It's just too busy, and that's fine. It's gonna be fine, but again, come on.
This is going to be the only car where for night races you don't actually see the rotors glowing because the car is too visibly loud.
I feel like we are 2 degrees away from them just putting like neon signs on the car, like just old neon like open and close signs, like
welcome to Vegas.
yeah. Zach Brown's like, we're open, and he just turns. It's like, all right, man, I guess we're just putting everything on the car, so that's fine. But it's
it'd
hard
be funny
to,
if they. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's hard to compare those to, the Mercedes and the Ferraris and even the Red Bulls, which are graphically loud, but they're just so clean and crisp. They're one color with like accents, which I love.
It would be funny if they showed their sponsors the car. They're like, okay, where would you like your logo to go?
Yeah.
And Chrome was like, what do you mean, where?
Yeah.
The whole car, can you not paint it red, blue, green, and yellow? I don't understand. I'm sorry, I'm missing something here.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like,
this check says it should be the whole car.
You should be driving a Google Chrome ball.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then Velo which is like a blockchain company, is all over the place. Like, one logo's enough. You're on the whole side pod. Do you really need the front spoiler? Do you really need the back of it? I mean, and then poor DeWalt is just it's just like, hey guys, I want to hang out too.
In like
they
in like a wet race that's just getting covered with spray. Like they're just in the spray zone. They're like, yeah, like whatever.
They're in the Gallagher splash zone.
They're getting hit with the sledgehammer. Yeah, Velo. That's a whole nother conversation. But McLaren has so many sponsorships that they're clearly just taking money from so many different places that some of these companies are pretty shady, like Velo and a lot of like crypto companies.
Velo seems shady.
It's just a little like, all right, yeah, you got money, but are you getting paid? Is this like a Rich Energy vibe? Like, are we getting our money? Is this a real thing? So. Yeah, we'll see.
They have so many sponsors that they had to lengthen the nose of the car so they could fit more sponsors on there.
Yeah, they have like like 2 rear wings, like double stacked.
I don't know what is on that rear wing, but it looks like a QR code. I don't know if that's a company, but I'm like, do I need to scan it?
Yeah. It takes you to another company that asks you for money to put another logo on.
It's Mission Winnow or some shit.
Yeah, that's a new cigarette. You're like, cool. Yeah, that's I think it's OKX. I think it's what it is. A big sponsor of McLaren this year. And another, these are all the little details that drive me nuts. Like, this is my brain, like a little window into my design brain that drives me insane, that like I can't handle, is so the color scheme of McLaren is that like that Gulf. Well, it's not Gulf anymore. They went to Williams, but it's that nice baby blue with the
orange,
the papaya orange with a lot of black.
Damn. You're so into this.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, it's this type of blue with the papaya orange twist.
Famous
icon.
It's
fucking orange and
papaya.
blue. What are you talking about?
It's the papaya brand color. And a lot of black, which will obviously be a lot of carbon. And then on top of that, the problem that Chrome gives me is that the blue is not perfectly matching the blue to the McLaren blue. So the McLaren blue is slightly different than the Chrome brand blue because they're not going to let them match. Like McLaren needs to keep their brand blue their color. So same with Chrome. And then the red and the orange are too close to each other in temperature but not the same. Like I need those to be the same. And then I also need the DeWalt logo to be the same color as the Chrome yellow.
The yellow.
Which those are different. Those don't match. So Chrome is just adding all these. And then there's green randomly thrown in there, which doesn't match any of it.
No.
And it just drives me crazy. It drives me insane that
your favorite team too. That's the funny part to me. This is your team.
It's killing me. Deep down, I need Chrome to be like, it's okay if we use white. Like just go white, which they won't obviously, but it's killing me. This is my brain. When these happen, these come out, I go, God damn it.
That's so funny.
I need that stuff to match. But overall,
yeah, I mean, and that's probably the messiest of all of them, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, that's why like the Alfa Romeo, they stuck to their brand colors. They did black, red, And
looks great.
white, it looks amazing. And then on top of that, they clearly are okay with the brands that they have partnered with just using every brand has a negative white on black version of their logo, a one color logo. That's just, every company has that. So they just said, give us your white logo. It'll pop off the black. It'll look amazing. And
we save weight.
Yeah, it's perfect. It looks so good. And then on the back of the wing, if you look up the Alfa Romeo car, they have the Italian flag with the old Alfa Romeo word mark. It's just, it's so Italian and it's so good. The Italians know how to design. It's amazing. It looks so good. And then you just put that up against I don't even know how to describe the McLaren one anymore.
The magic eye that is the McLaren. You got to cross your eyes so you can see it. Like,
it only looks good blurry in motion. You're like,
you're right,
that
right.
blob
It's
looks
a Monet
nice.
painting or some shit.
Yeah. It's an impressionist style of an F1 car. Yeah, it's the idea of the car.
I love that you know the words too. You're like, they have the word moniker or whatever for Alfa Romeo.
Oh, the word mark. Yeah. This is what I do for.
What did you call it?
The word mark, like just the
word mark. Yeah,
the
instead
word
of the logo.
Yeah. There's logos. There's icons. There's lockups. There's word marks. There's typography. There's fonts. There's typesets. There's number sets. We got it all. We can deep it.
This is why I go to Geoff. I'm like, Geoff, I need a logo and a brand Bible.
Yep.
I don't know what else to tell you. Your colors and inspirations.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you want.
You figure it out.
It comes with the whole thing, and it's impressive.
Yeah.
Now, Aramco's car, Seb's new car.
R.I.P. Seb.
Yeah. No. The fuck is this? The Aston Martin, the previous Jaguar, previously owned by Ford.
23.
Yeah. That's all. Here's what's crazy is that car, sponsor-wise, is almost as busy as the McLaren.
Yes.
But they did what you said. They used the negative white on everything. And it's like, no, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
This is what you're getting.
It looks so much better. And then on top of that, the color choice is huge. It changes everything because you look at that Aston Martin car. You have the beautiful Aston Martin racing green. It's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. That color is amazing. They have these really nice neon yellow stripes that in their product photos, it's really great because they put them on the Pirelli yellow tires, which look good.
Yeah.
But all of that to say, the only thing sticking out, and you can't really see it, is the UC or JCB logo has orange on it in the far back on the wing.
I do see that.
But again, it's like it's out of the way. It's behind the wheel. You're not going to see it. And everything else matches. It looks really nice. The white on black or on the white on green looks good. On top of that, the Aramco logo and the Cognizant logo are very corporate.
Different fonts.
They're different. But they're very corporate, clean, like sans serif, traditional, parent company font. Like it's just a big ass company. They're like, we can't say anything with this logo. Let's just be a word, and that's what those are. So they.
I don't even know how to say the word.
Yeah,
cognizant.
Yeah.
Aramco. Quit talking about my sex life.
Yeah. Yeah, Peroni. I've never had. Yeah, so. It's very corporate looking, which again also matches just the vibe of Lawrence Stroll and the guy running that company. Like he just is Mr. Business Corporate Man, and the car reads that way to me. And it looks really good. I hope it's fast. They clearly took a lot of inspiration from the Red Bull wing.
As they always do.
From the side pod. I mean, a lot of exactly little tracing point heritage popping up here and there, but we'll see what happens.
You gotta stay true to their roots.
Yeah, you gotta, And that was a fun little comment that because Mercedes, a lot of these cars, if you look at the aero of these cars this year, a lot of people are now everything's conforming. They're getting closer and closer to what Ferrari did and what Red Bull did with their aerodynamics. And a lot of cars are close to that-ish and taking clearly big inspiration from that. And then there's still Mercedes with the no side pod or like the very, very minimal side pod, which I think adds to how cool their car looks because it looks so different. But Toto, being Toto, was like, we don't copy at Mercedes. We don't copy any. We don't.
To our detriment.
That's what I was going to say.
We do not copy.
Like, hey, because that conversation happened. You know that they go, do we need to do the Red Bull side pod? And everything about Toto and their ego and like the way that they run that team there's no way he was going to let that fly. And that's what they did. They showed up. And I hope Mercedes is a contender. I love that team. I love the personalities, but we'll see. I don't know. It's far away from, like I said, there's these top teams, livery wise and design wise, which like it's the Ferraris look amazing. The Mercedes look amazing. Red Bull looks good. Also, a little side note on Ferrari's launch. Ferrari had an incredible launch. It was really fun, awesome. The car looks great. It's a perfect blend of using the black and the carbon with the beautiful red. But
Scarlet red. Sorry, I'll chime in for you, Jeff. Scarlet red.
What people immediately zeroed in on and freaked out about is the front wing of the Ferrari had those gap separators, those little pieces that separate the top of the pieces on their front wing, which, if you remember last year, was an invention from the Mercedes team. And they showed up to the race, and everyone was like, as they do, what the hell is this? What? Like, come on, you can't do that. And immediately Red Bull and Ferrari protested against them, and they were deemed illegal because they were illegal change to the aerodynamics of the car and whatever. So people were like, okay, what's going on? Are these little separators banned? Can we have them? Like the wings flex, all that stuff was a big controversy. Ferrari then shows up to their launch with those on their wing. And a lot of people are saying, which I love, this is like the gamesmanship. A lot of people are saying that Ferrari did that just so people would freak out about them because they're probably doing other things in their car that they don't want people to look at as much.
Oh, that is exactly what Ferrari would do.
Yeah.
Those cocksuckers.
Yeah. They're probably doing things with their car aerodynamically that they're like, well, if we can just get people to get fired up about us copying Mercedes with a banned part.
Dog.
So there's potential that Ferrari shows up to testing and they don't have gap separators. Like they just are like, yeah, we're going to
put
do
something
that.
else that's pretty illegal.
Exactly.
And then no one knows about it. They just get a fine.
They have Bonotto like in the back of the car, like R2D2, like helping drive. Like, yeah. So who knows what they got? Like, it's the best. This is my favorite part of the preseason because everyone's pulling this bullshit. That's like, are they not? Is this the car? Is this not the car? Are they going to, no one knows what anyone's showing up with in Bahrain.
Right.
And this gap that we can just completely guess what's going on is so much fun. It's so fun.
Man.
So, yeah.
Now, so we've talked a lot about that, but we've talked Red Bull. We've pretty much covered everything. I don't think we've talked yet about Williams at all. And I'll be honest, Williams to me, is it much different from last year? Like I don't know if it's that much different, but like it's got I like the look. I like the blues. I like the monochrome, like the different shades of blue. I think they pull it off pretty well.
Look at all these design terms. Monochrome, you're nailing it. No, I agree. I think the biggest takeaway from Williams is not really the livery. Like you said, the livery is very similar to last year. Two things is the aerodynamic change to the car. They clearly pulled from Red Bull, and they have those super thin side pods up top that open up and then feel very Ferrari at the back of them. And then the vents, which are cool. And then the fun detail.
The Duracell.
The Duracell battery. A really cool way to incorporate a brand. If you're going to do it, like clearly that's a great idea. It's everything about it. It powers it. We talked about it last week doing a Duracell commercial. But really cool idea from Williams. So overall, I think there's a lot of the biggest takeaway is there's a lot of black and carbon, and it's going to be fun to see how teams operate with that stuff and how these liveries change over the course of the season. But as I would say, overall, a really fun set of cars. Like they look good. I think the grid's going to look really pretty, and there's not too many cars that are going to be like an eyesore. But yeah,
I was right. So in my head, I was thinking about this. I don't remember Golf being the main sponsor of Williams last year.
That came
over.
That's
a new addition.
Yep, they were at McLaren, and then Golf has a very steep tradition in motorsport sponsorship, and they used to have a partnership with McLaren, and then last year they had a big partnership with McLaren to a big pageantry. They announced it. They did the whole Golf Monaco livery 2 years ago in 21, and it was really cool. But they moved over to Williams, which again, hopefully that money injection helps Williams jump
I hope it does.
The grid. And so it's really sad to see them get big sponsorships and iconic sponsorships like Golf. and then it would just suck if they don't.
Suck ass.
Yeah, they're just at the back.
And from what I understand, Golf didn't want to leave McLaren. They just wasn't enough space on the car for their logo.
Dude, yeah, they were like, "Where's it go?" And they're like, "Oh, well, yeah." They just got pushed out of the folder. That's so funny.
Oh man, that's so funny.
But yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's exciting. Another exciting bit of news: Drive to Survive is coming out the 24th.
We are here.
Which we're pumped about that because it's fun that comes out because it's very well timed on their part because they put it out and it's right before the season starts, so we get reminded of like, oh yeah. I did hate so and so, or Christian Horner is an annoying little weasel. It's like those kind of things, and so I like that they do that. Side note, I hate that everyone's trying to knock off Drive to Survive for like golf. And tennis, and I'm like, I mean, golf specifically is the one that has the same producers doing it, and it's just, from what I understand, it's not working.
Oh, but funny. Yeah, my buddy, shout out to Miguel, friend of the podcast. He calls it Miguelito. He calls it Drive to Putt. He's like, have you guys seen that new Drive to Putt show? I'm like, that's so perfect. Yeah.
But so the trailer's already out. They've got the episode lists out. And what are your thoughts on this? Are you excited? I mean, obviously you're excited for it, but what are you thinking? Is it going to be, since we were so in tune with it last year, do you think it's going to piss us off, or do you think it's going to be like an exciting? Yeah,
that's where I'm at. Like I'm that question is always, I didn't even finish season 4 because it deviated so hard on some of the episodes that I just kind of got burnt out of, like, I think my wife was like, will you stop? Like she's like, I watched all the races. I know that it's not right. Like, you don't have to freak out and explain it to me. She didn't do that at all. But I felt like I was doing that. I was just like, well, that didn't happen. Like, that audio.
I don't know, you're taking some liberties.
Yeah, that audio's from, that's why they're called Liberty Media.
Yeah, for real.
I was like, this, that episode, that audio, whatever. So my goal is, I think I hope there was enough blowback from season 4 of F1 fans and the community being like, hey, stop doing this.
We paid attention.
Yeah, people are like,
you know what I mean?
Really, you're into season 5. Please just be a little bit more true to the story. I don't know if that's true. I doubt it. It's still going to be storytelling. It's still going to be that reality effect. They need that stuff. But my hope is that doesn't happen. We'll see. I'm excited for, like, just seeing, again, it's every year, how they tell the stories of what we know happened versus, and I don't know. All of the storyline side is great. My favorite part of Drive to Survive are all just the little audio snippets that you capture, like Toto and Horner talking to each other, walking in and out, or just those little moments. Those are my favorite pieces. Those behind the scenes moments that are less about the overarching style or storyline of what's happening. There's a Mick episode this year, and it's people are speculating that it'll be about Mick getting his first points, following in the footsteps of his dad, the pressure of being a Schumacher, all that stuff. That's great. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. There's also a whole documentary about that. So I just want to see Mick talk shit about Gunther. That's all I want to see. I want to see him get fired up and talk some shit. Like, same with like the Checo episode. It's like, I just want to get to know Checo more in a more real way, and I want to see like how he handled Monaco and the crash. And I know they're gonna spin it certain ways, but we'll see. So I'd
be curious if they lean into like Max Verstappen's distaste of it and the comments he made at the end. I'd be curious if they reach, because I could see Red Bull being like, we're not, no, because that caused such chaos and turmoil in their infrastructure and in their company that I'd be like, we're not doing that. Yeah. Sorry.
So that's it. I think overall Drive to Survive will be fun. I'll watch it all this year probably. I'll get excited. I'm excited for it. The trailer was great. It started with Max in the seat,
which I hated.
Yeah,
I was
of course.
So mad. It's like, I mean, I get it. He won. Yeah, fine. But he's such a little fucking cunt. I just don't. I mean, if we're gonna get British about it, he's a fucking cunt, eh? I'm so bad at his accents.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Mine just comes out Australian. It's
Gubna.
He's mental, isn't it? Yeah. We lost the 2 British listeners we have. They're like, all right.
Oh man. That's funny.
I don't know. Is there anything else you're excited about overall for Drive to Survive, or are you just gonna blow through it? And
I'm gonna blow through it because I mean, like it's after a few episodes, it does kind of bother you a little bit, and then you just kind of like you're committed to it, so you just end up watching it for just like in the background. But it's gonna be exciting to see Lewis's talk. Like his interactions with the camera, because he's so positive.
Yep.
And it does seem like Drive to Survive has a lot of the content that doesn't belong on Sky Sports. Like they're like, I don't know what to do with this stuff, but this is good stuff. And even F1
Glass
TV
customers are not getting this content.
right. So I'm excited to see to just have a look into his mindset, because that they're going to. Talk to him a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the former world champ, and he just got his shit pushed in this year.
Yeah, it's the hardest year.
So it's going to be fun to see. I mean, and not only just to see like a look in his mind, but as a artistic person myself, who is this industry that you and I are in, Jeff, is constantly knows, and it's always hard, and it's keeping that winning mindset of like, no, I'm like, I know I can do this, so we're on the right track, and so that's going to be fun for me to see. It also looks like they have a whole thing on AlphaTauri with Gasly and Yuki. I love Yuki, and I hope that they're trying to push him a little more into the spotlight, because I think he's a hilarious little fella.
So likable. He's so fun, and that's like a fun bromance. Like I hope it's more of like. I hope it's what they did, not what they did with McLaren when they tried to put, Lando and Daniel against each other, or even Carlos and Lando. It's like, all right, there were some comments here and there, but we all know they're friends. Like, if there's any moment that they try to sell Pierre and Yuki against each other outside of like the track and being competitive as racers, I'm going to be so annoyed. I'm like, we know that they're friends. Like, they are famously best friends. So I hope it's more of that. And like, look, some of these guys are buddies, and that's great. That'll be exciting. Yeah. The other last thing I'm excited about is I hope that there was 2 episodes in a row about Alonso going to Aston, leaving Alpine, and then the next one is I think it was the Ricardo one. Nice guys finish last.
Yep, correct.
My hope is, I don't know if this is what they'll do. My hope is that across 2 episodes, it'll just be the Oscar Piastri fiasco. Because that's my goal, is that I just want to hear all about how that happened, and I hope that it starts with Alonso leaving and then Piastri entering the conversation because he then also was getting promoted. All that stuff. I want that mess. I want 2 hours of that mess.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I hope
they're not lightweight with it. I hope they push. I want to see them push Checo. Like I want, like I don't need to hear Max's side of it, but I would like to be like, did you do this? Like, and he's gonna say no, of course, but I would love to hear them push and be like, well, here's the telemetry graph. You goosed it. So what happened? Like I do hope that they push that a bit, just so we can kind of get him a little uncomfortable, but
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fun to see that. It's gonna be kind of fun to see Checo's mindset of throughout the season, knowing he's number 2 and kind of getting bullied by fucking Max and Red Bull, and then taking that knowledge that we're gonna gain and moving it into this season when Ricardo is more than happy to be right on is to be number 2. Yep. He's fine to be number 2.
Yeah,
and.
It's gonna be good.
That's gonna be a spicy meatball.
It's a good one. I'm pumped.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Very excited. I do want to say, truly, and I'm going to speak for Jeff here, from the bottom of our hearts, and for Kat, our producer, Jan doing our videos. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
For this first season, 52 episodes. It's been incredible, and we're so excited for season 2, for our season 2, which is going to start next week with testing. We're just thrilled to see our numbers growing and to see you guys coming back all the time. So thank you guys for being with us. It's been a sweet first season for Grid Penalty, the Formula One podcast. For everybody.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We love it. It's the best.
Enjoy your week. Please give us a review if you have not already. We really do appreciate those great reviews that y'all have been giving us. They are very, very helpful. So we're grateful for that. Share us with your friends as well. New season starts next Monday for us. And as always, be safe. Wear your seatbelt out there. And don't forget, it's Daytona Violet, not Daytona Purple. All right, you color freak. It's not papaya. It's okay. Yeah. Anyway, that was a dumb way to end. But I love you all. Jeff, I love you too, buddy.
I love you too. Shout out to Syracuse TSA.
Yeah, Donald, I don't even remember his name was, but I got to look it up again. So
hell yeah.
But love you guys. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. Bye.